Football is the game. Na, 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 na. Soccer's almost over. What are we gonna do? We only have a few weeks left of the EPL. The championship ends this Monday. This is our last chance to crack him in the ass. So we need to have a good weekend and cash some tickets. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. I am Stephen Murray, broadcasting live from the Deep End Studios in Virginia Beach, Virginia, the United States of America, on the beautiful shorelines of Virginia Beach, Virginia, USA, on a beautiful Friday afternoon. It is 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is America's favorite wagering, gambling show on the English Premier League and, of course, the championship. In fact, it's America's only show, so it has to be the favorite. I don't know of any. If you know of any other shows, go ahead and let us know. You can go ahead and comment on any of the social medias. You can always Twitter us at deepend757. You can always go to the website, deepend757.com. Contact us through there. Whatever. You can always text the hotline, 757-354-5517. 757-354-5517. All right, I am Stephen Murray. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck, and let's get right down to business. We'll look at the Premier League table first. We're just about there, people. Only a handful of games left to play. We got a couple weeks here. Some teams are in deep, dire despair at the bottom. Some teams are already safe with nothing else to play for. Other teams fighting for a top four spot in the Champions League so they can get into contention there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at where we stand. Manchester City on top of the table. They've been on fire, 79 points now. They lead over Arsenal, who did win their last time out, but they're basically going to have to hope for Man City to stumble against one of their much more inferior opponents here down the stretch in order to somehow leapfrog them with the tougher schedule too as well. So no room for error for Arsenal to lose if they want to gain that top spot back, and they need some help as well. Newcastle, third place, 65 points. Manchester United is fourth place with 63, and Liverpool trying to find their way into the top four to play Champions League with 59 points. They'll likely end up in the Europa League. Brighton, 55 points. Tottenham, 54. Aston Villa, 54. Brentford, 50. Fulham, 45. Crystal Palace, 40. These are basically the teams who have nothing left to play for at this point. Brentford, Fulham, Crystal Palace, they fall into that category. Chelsea can't find a win. They are 12th spot with 39 points, but they continue to fall down the standings here. Wolverhampton, 37 points. West Ham, 34 points. By no way are these teams safe. Leicester, 30 points. Leeds, 30 points. Nottingham Forest, 30 points. And that is your relegated team right now, Nottingham Forest, by the goal differential. They trail Leeds by 8 and 19 goals from Leicester. So they will not catch up on any kind of goal differential. They'll actually have to leapfrog some of these teams with points. So a big game for Nottingham Forest here on Monday. Everton, 19th spot in relegation is Everton, 29 points. They can still jump out. Southampton, 24 points overall. they are likely heading to the championship. Their final nail for that can be put into the coffin. Coming up probably on Monday, we'll say. So that should be it for them. Let's see. All right, let's go to the games. Really no drama at the top, unless Man City can somehow lose. And then we have these teams down at the bottom. We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 deep, who need to avoid the bottom 3. So that's going to be your interesting soccer stuff here as we go down the final stretch. Okay, first game's on the board. Saturday, 10 a.m. Nothing at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So our first game is Saturday with, again, another weird schedule for the weekend. We have Saturday games. We have 2 later Sunday games. And then Monday, a trio of games on Monday, which we have not seen. So Man City is minus 700 at home against Leeds, plus 1,500. The draw is plus 800. Obviously, Leeds needs this. Man City, they just have not been throttling the opponents like you think that they would. They get their 3 goals and they're happy and they call it quits. The other team can't score. They'll pass it around. So they're not really getting any kind of super blowout goals themselves. Will Kevin De Bruyne play? They're better with him in there, I think. More action in the box with the ball. So we'll have to take note on De Bruyne if he's going to be in there. Let's see if he's listed as an anytime scorer right now. He is, so that's going to be optimism there. But, of course, always look your lineups up before you make any player props, because a lot of times your player gets stuck on the bench there, and if he comes in for the 10 or 15 minutes at the end, you're kind of screwed on your bet still. As long as he touches the field, he cannot be voided. So don't get burned like I usually do. Play your goal scorer props right before the game. So, I usually do them on Friday so I don't forget. And then, oh, wow, this player's off magically. So err on the side of caution there with your player props. I guess you look at Man City team goals. I don't even know if it's worth it. You know what? In the first half, that's where we're going to look. First half, home team goals. They can get to the magic number of 3. Why not? Plus 570 to get 3 goals against Leeds in the first half. Leeds allows a ton of goals. Man City want to lead, and then they want to sit on it. So we'll look for Man City team goals over 2.5 at plus 570. And shoot at over 1.5 at plus 44. I mean, that's got to be a winner. I mean, I would think that's the easiest bet in the world. You can't. Man City's not going to get 2 goals against Leeds in the first half. I mean, they almost have to. So we'll look at the first half goals there. Tottenham and Crystal Palace, 10 o'clock Saturday. Tottenham has been completely horrible lately. I don't know what's going on there. Even though with the big deficit to Liverpool, they came back and tied them 3-0, only to give up the game-winning goal. A minute later there in extra time. So Tottenham and Crystal Palace. Well, Palace has been playing a little feistier, to be honest. They're plus 330, and the ticker is at the bottom of the screen. Crystal Palace at plus 330 is interesting. The draw plus 290 is even kind of interesting as well. I could see that. Crystal Palace can draw out Tottenham. I don't know if they can beat them on the road, but this could be a 1-1 or 2-2 game for sure. Maybe Tottenham just fully rebounds so they can destroy it. But Crystal Palace has a feisty defense. They pack it in. They don't give you much opportunity to score. So I don't know if Harry Kane and company can actually get a lot of goals. I'd be more interested in maybe a draw here, I guess. But if you want Tottenham at over 2.5 goals is plus 280, I don't know if I trust that. That's just all. Tottenham has been a disappointment lately. Crystal Palace, better for sure. Bournemouth and Chelsea, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bournemouth host Chelsea, plus 220, the home team, plus 125 for Chelsea. The draw is plus 240. Chelsea's terrible. They haven't won in forever. I can't remember the last time they've won. Bournemouth is a feisty, decent team lately. They at least compete. And they are themselves pretty much, I would say, safe of the relegation battle. Did we even mention them? I think they've done enough here. Let me just go back to them. Bournemouth, yeah, look at this, all the way up to 13th place with 39 points. You gotta think that they're going to be clear here to stay in the Premier League. 39 points should be enough to keep them up. So good job on Bournemouth's part. They're going to be motivated still to beat Chelsea, a team that's just right above them. And of course, they can guarantee their EPL life next year if they can even get a point here. I'm going to look for this to maybe even be a higher scoring game. We need some goals from Chelsea at some point. Bournemouth may be the team that kind of gives it to them as well. Bournemouth is going to be motivated at home. We can see some goals here, I think. So goal-wise, over 3.5 is plus 245. Fair. Over 4.5 is plus 640. I could see Bournemouth winning this game 3-2, to be honest. If we're going to do some kind of crazy correct score thing, then maybe I'm going to throw a 3-2 in there at 34-1 odds. Wow, look at that. I'm going to hit one of these round robins with all these correct scores, people. I know who you are who laugh at me out there. You've told me. I've gotten the text. But the payouts are awesome. Hey, man, I'm coming close on some of these correct scores too. So we'll try to end the season right for sure. But I'm going to look for goals in the Bournemouth-Chelsea game. One, because Chelsea's due to do something. Jesus. I mean, Jesus. Pardon my language, my good Lord, who's looking after my dad and mother. Please. Amen. Linda Murray's health is in great despair, people. So that's been a hard battle here. So know that when you don't see a rugby show on Wednesday nights, maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes here. So I think we've touched on that a little bit, but yeah, there we go. Bournemouth plus 220 is a nice price too, I guess. I'm going to look for goals here, though. Wolves host Aston Villa. Plus 200 for the Wolves. Draw is plus 220. Aston Villa plus 145. The last time we saw the Wolves on this show, me and nephew Dave were making the case for them to hang a whooping on Brighton. So the Wolves lose, I think 6-0 in that game. Maybe they got a goal, 6-1. I tuned it out well past that. I did have an overplay on that, so that did have a piece of the pie there. There were a ton of goals last week, a ton of goals in these games last week. And I'm trying to figure out how I did not make money on it because they were the obscure games for sure that we didn't touch. That's why. West Ham and Crystal Palace, for example, 7 or 8 goals or whatever they had early Saturday morning. We should have seen that coming. But Wolves and Aston Villa, again, I think this could be a goal game. Wolves might get 1 or 2. Aston Villa is really nice on offense. As long as these teams play hard and compete, then we could get goals here as well. So I think over 3.5 in this game at plus 320 is very fair. I like that for sure. All right, Liverpool is minus 220. Draw plus 400. Brentford is plus 500. And the game kickoff time for this is Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Liverpool, are they as good as we kind of say that they are lately? I don't know still. I still have questions. And although Brentford looks very disinterested in playing soccer at this point of the season, they are a decent team here. I don't know. This might have to be a stay away. I want to think this is an over game. I'm not so sure how motivated Brentford is with really nothing to play for, a game on the road. I guess I would look for Liverpool goals here at home. Brentford might give that up to them. But they didn't get them against Brighton, I'll tell you that. Or they did get them against Tottenham. They did get the 3. And Brighton played Man United, not Liverpool. So I don't know what I'm talking about there. All right, so plus 146 for 3 goals for Liverpool. I don't know. To get 4 goals is plus 430. I just assume maybe stay away from this one, to be honest. Sunday games, Newcastle And Arsenal, interesting. Arsenal, a plus 175 underdog to a team that is not named Man City. So Newcastle is the favorite at plus 145, the draw plus 270. I could see goals here. This could be a really good game. It really has all the makings. 11:30 a.m. Sunday. So a good first watch there before the baseball gets started and NBA and all the hockey in the race. Um, Over 3.5 goals. I think that's fair. I don't think we're going to get paid for it though. Plus 160. Yeah, I guess that's a nice price. Can we get to 5 goals? I think that's the play. We got to try to for over 4.5 here combined. Arsenal to get theirs, Newcastle to get theirs, plus 390. I could see this being a 3-2 win in favor of Arsenal. That's 23-1 odds, or 3-2 in favor of Newcastle. That's 22-1 odds. Either way, I think this is a goal game, and they get 5 goals. How about that? West Ham and Man United, 2 p.m. on Sunday. Plus 240 for West Ham, plus 105 for Man United, and the draw is at plus 270. The plus 105 looks really juicy on Man U, a team that wins 1-0 all the time here, and 2-0. In fact, let's go ahead and get our UK weather update for the weekend. Let's see what we got. This could change everything. Saturday looks like we got some rain, but nice warm temperatures. Sunday, nice cloudy, warm day. Not much of a chance of rain. And then a decent amount of rain as we go into Monday. So the Monday games could be rainy as well. So we're looking at rain on Saturday and Sunday. So Sunday or Saturday and Monday. So we're going to have to take that into account on things as well here. Does that call me off of Aston Villa Wolves goals? Maybe. And does that call me off Bournemouth Chelsea? Yeah, maybe. Actually. So pay attention to the weather. That might knock things down actually on a couple of these games. So important stuff. But if we're going to have to find something to play, I'll go with what we said. Aston Villa Wolves over. Bournemouth Chelsea over. And we will take Newcastle Arsenal over. I like Man United at plus 105. They can beat West Ham on the road there. Although West Ham has done a little bit better here as of late, and they need a point. I mean, they're going to be playing hard. Man U, maybe they could be playing a little more casual just because they're so locked into their spot here in the Champions League. Let's see here. I mean, now they still need to win. I mean, Liverpool is right behind them. So, okay, yeah, we'll take a look at Man U. They need this win. Not super impressive at Brighton, but they will look better against West Ham coming up on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Monday games, Fulham and Leicester. Leicester needs this for relegation's sake, plus 160 for them, plus 165 for Fulham. Draw plus 250. I don't think Fulham has much to play for. I could see Leicester winning this game. Can they get 3 goals on Monday? I don't know if the weather is going to allow that to happen. I might have to do these correct scores as lower scoring games here. But away team over 2.5 goals is plus 420. I don't know if I'm interested in that. I think I would just take Leicester on the plus 160. That's a tough one. Maybe even the draw plus 250. That's a bad game. Maybe a no play. Brighton and Everton, minus 290 for Brighton, plus 420 is a draw. And Everton is plus 700. The team that really needs it, Everton, getting 7-1 odds. That might be worth a shot here against Brighton. Brighton, a team who's been really good, but they did not look so hot here against Man United. They did win in the last minute there. They can still get Europa, too, if Liverpool can falter a little bit here. Brighton left a lot on the pitch the other day with goals. I'm wondering if they're might be wearing thin. They just didn't look good as a finishing product. Is it worth it to take Everton at plus 700. Maybe. But the draw plus 420 may be something to look at as well. Maybe you just take draw and you take plus 700. But if Brighton throttles them, I mean, that's what they do too. They can throttle some of these bad teams. So a home team for Brighton, if that's the way we're going to look at things, over 2.5 is just plus 142. I mean, 3 goals in what might be rainy conditions at plus 142. I don't think I can buy that. Just not a good price. Tempted to take Everton plus 700. Really, really am for some reason. Nottingham Forest and Southampton. Nottingham's plus 115. Southampton plus 240. And the draw is plus 240. Is Southampton the worst team ever? I feel like they have some talent on that team. Nottingham Forest is not that great. I could see Southampton winning this game at plus 240, to be honest. So they're going to put up a fight to get out of that relegation, maybe. This is a tough game, bad game. But 2 bottom feeders. The draw plus 240, I don't know. Rainy conditions, I just see this being a 1-0 game, to be honest. And maybe Southampton can get the win. All right, let's look ahead to the next week, see what we have going on. Leeds, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Tottenham. Any other really good games here? Arsenal and Brighton will be a decent game next week. And then, you have the same old stuff with Leicester, Liverpool, Everton, Man City, Brentford, West Ham, Southampton, Fulham. Okay, whatever. It's a tough sled in here in the Premier League this week. I don't know if I really like the card so much. But we will take a shot. If we're going to take over goals, we'll take it with Aston Villa and the Wolves, Bournemouth and Chelsea, Newcastle and Arsenal, Leicester and Man United on their money lines. Maybe those are the best plays. I kind of still want to throw up at maybe all of those picks, to be honest. Maybe Everton plus 700. Could we be in store for a wacky week here? Southampton plus 240 and Everton on a parlay pays 26-1. Interesting. Leicester, Everton, and Southampton on a parlay pays 70-1. All right, so play around with a few things. I can see some underdogs winning, especially if it's going to be rainy. All right, this rain's going to be important. I don't know if we really get the overs. All right, let's go to the championship. This is it. This is the final week for the championship. So the last time that we will talk about it, except for the playoffs, which will be seeds 3 through 6, and still a lot to be decided there. All right, Burnley has won the championship, and they have automatic promotion. Sheffield has automatic promotion. Both of those teams back in the English Premier League. All right, so here's where it gets interesting. Luton will be in the playoff, and Middlesbrough will be in the playoff. So those teams may lay down this week. Pay attention to that. Coventry and Millwall, 5th and 6th, need to earn their spots still. Coventry, 69 points. Millwall, 68. These 3 teams are still alive. Sunderland, West Brom, and Blackburn. All right. Swansea out of it with 63. Preston, 63. Norwich, Watford, Hull, Bristol. None of these points matter at this point. Stoke, Birmingham, all safe. Huddersfield is safe with a big one over Sheffield. Yesterday, they get 3 big points. That helps their cause. Queen's Park Rangers are going to be safe. Rotherham is going to be safe. Cardiff is going to be safe. And here you go, the 3 relegated teams, Reading, Blackpool, and Wigan, when it all settles down here at the end of the day. So all that is settled. There is no drama except for Coventry, Millwall, trying to get their 2 playoff spots, Sunderland, West Brom, and Blackburn. No one else has a thing to play for here this week in the championship. So let's get to it. Preston hosts Sunderland. Sunderland is a minus 115 favorite. All of these games are at 10 o'clock on Monday. So they all play at the same time. You got to look at Sunderland, minus 115. They want the win Preston, they might be trying to play a little feisty at home for their fans too. So not necessarily a winnable game for Sunderland at any stretch. Preston can definitely win this game at home. Burnley hosts Cardiff. Burnley is a minus 360 favorite. Cardiff is plus 800. I think by principle, you might take some of these dogs at plus 800, literally, because they might lay down. Luton, minus 175. Hull is an underdog at plus 430. That's what we did with Huddersfield the other day against Sheffield, and it worked. Hull is plus 430. I think you got to take Hull, to be honest. Norwich and Blackpool, nothing to play for here. We'll leave that alone. Wigan and Rotherham, we'll leave that alone. Birmingham and Sheffield. Birmingham at home at plus 310 is interesting because Sheffield has no care in the world at this point. Swansea at home against West Brom plus 200. For Swansea, West Brom plus 120. This is a game where these two teams are going to go for it. At least West Brom will. That might induce goals by Swansea. This is one over that we will take a look at here. And over 3.5 goals is plus 200. Over 4.5 is plus 510. I like both of those for sure. West Brom has to go for it. They have no room to lay back, so they need to open things up. Middlesbrough plus 140. Draw plus 250. Home against Coventry plus 180. They may see each other again. Middlesbrough is not going to show anything here, I don't think. So Coventry at plus 180 is probably the pick here. Watford and Stoke, nothing. Millwall and Blackburn. This is going to be basically a playoff game. Minus 120, plus 270 for the draw, plus 290. So a cagey affair. I would expect low scoring because that's what Millwall does. So really no play here. Huddersfield and Reading. Huddersfield's happy. They're probably partying because they avoided relegation. But we'll lay off of that. And QPR and Bristol will lay off of that. All right, so the over Swansea and West Brom because they need to go for it in the championship. And we'll look at Hull. We'll look at Cardiff. We'll look at just some of these bigger underdogs just for the price sake. Birmingham at home against Sheffield, plus 310. I think those three are worthy, and the Swansea over. So we'll do a round robin that way. We'll take Cardiff, Hull, on the premise that their opponents don't care because they've clinched and moved on. Birmingham at home to beat Sheffield plus 310, and then Swansea and Coventry. Swansea over and Coventry. All right, EPL, we don't like the picks there. Again, so over Aston Villa Wolves is tread with caution, people. I mean, look at the weather, make sure it's zoom in on the city right before game time and see what the rain is doing. If the rain is holding off, yes, by all means go with the overs. But this might be a good week to do correct scores of like 1-0, 1-1. A lot of those, to be honest. Over Newcastle, Arsenal. Over Wolves, Aston Villa. Over Bournemouth, Chelsea. And Man United on the money line. Those four official plays there. Maybe a stab at Southampton. All right. So those are the picks. You got the championship picks as well. Really, the over in the West Brom Swansea is the best over possibility there. And then Hull, Cardiff, all the big dogs at home. Birmingham against all the good teams. So we'll see how the playoffs shake up, and we will discuss next week. All right, guys, this has been the Friday Soccer Paycheck. I am Stephen Murray, America's favorite gambling show. Thank you, soccer gambling show. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk next week. What the Puck is Going On playoff edition coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, we will see you later. Have a jolly old weekend. And remember, check the weather before you make your plays. If it's raining, dumb down the goals. All right, guys, good luck.